Well, next from us tonight, how one father from Norfolk broke out of a cycle of drug addiction, crime and homelessness thanks to photography.
Richard Walsh, known as Walshy, started taking drugs as a teenager on the school bus, but his addiction spiralled out of control. A reliance on cocaine and heroin cost him his job and his family and left him sleeping on the streets.
But 2 years ago, addiction charity The Matthew Project introduced him to photography. And as he told Rob Setchell, his life is now being rebuilt.
In the autumn sunshine of Norwich's Wensum Park, Walshy reflects on how far he's come. He takes pictures here now, but 5 years ago, this was where he slept. He was a broken man, shoplifting to fund a 25-year drug addiction, disowned by his family.
I remember the first night going back on the streets and I just laid under this blanket and just cried, man. You know, my whole life was sort of crack, heroin, and then you just lose everything about yourself. And I sort of blamed myself for hurting my kids for years, and that just held me in that position of not being able to move on from it.
The momentum to move on came from the realisation he'd hit rock bottom, that a man who'd once had kids and a mortgage had been reduced to sleeping in a bin, and from the pain of losing a loved one.
Got a text message saying that my sister had hung herself, and that was just like, that was the turning point. I was like, I've used enough things in my life as an excuse why I'm still doing drugs and, wasting my life. And I thought, I'm not going to use my sister as another excuse.
And he didn't. He came here to the Matthew Project. For almost 40 years, they've been helping people across Norfolk, Suffolk and Essex recover from drug and alcohol addiction.
It is the hardest journey. Recovery is difficult, and it's every day is difficult for somebody in recovery. But to see somebody achieve what Walshy's achieved is just amazing. To see Walshy's journey is a privilege.
Well, that journey started when the charity introduced him to photography. He took a course, he started taking pictures, experimenting with different techniques. The results, well, they stunned his tutor.
It was like the first time someone had actually said, you're actually good at anything. I've wasted a lot of years of my life, and I'm now, starting to believe, I'm quite good at this, actually. So I sent my application portfolio off to university one night. In the morning, I thought, whatever did I do that for? I've only been doing photography for like a year and a half. And then they wrote back to me with offering me an unconditional offer.
So far, uni's going well, says Walshy, even if his class thought he was the teacher at first. He's got a flat, he's helping the charities that helped him, and he's seeing his children again. Life is worth living. And from behind the lens, it's looking as good as it ever has. Rob Setchell, ITV News, Norwich.
Oh, he takes a good picture, doesn't he? I'm very excited to see where his life goes.
Absolutely.
Actually.
We
met him.
Yeah, we did meet him. We hosted a charity ball for the Matthew Project. We were trying to take a picture for social media. We go, this is terrible. Actually, Walshy, can you take it? And he did take a great picture. Well, you look great.
Oh, do you know what? We had a good chat with him that evening, didn't we?
Indeed,
and
yeah.
He's a lovely man, and we wish him all the very, very best.
Absolutely. Good luck with the course. Well, thanks for joining Becky and